Let us suppose that a charged particle is moving in a region of space where both the electric and magnetic fields are present. The force acting on the charged particle can be expressed by Lorentz force as shown in equation 1. In equation 1, F is the force vector. We measure it in newtons in MKS system. Q is the charge of the charged particle. E is the electric field vector. It is measured in newtons per coulomb. V is the velocity vector. Its units are meters per seconds. B is the magnetic field vector. It is measured in Tesla in MKS system. The Lorentz force is basically the sum of two forces. One of them is the electrical force, and electrical force is equal to the product of the magnitude of the charge times electric field, and the other one is the magnetic force. It is equal to Q times cross product of velocity and magnetic field vectors. The electric field and the magnetic field vectors both are time independent, they are static. In this tutorial, our aim is to prove that the total mechanical energy of a moving charge particle in static electric and magnetic field remains constant. Now let's proceed and replace S using Newton's second law with m times acceleration, where acceleration is the time derivative of velocity. This m is the mass of the particle. Putting the value of F into equation 1, we obtain equation 2. Taking the dot product of equation 2 with velocity vector v, we obtain equation 3. The last term in equation 3 is equal to 0 because it is the dot product of two perpendicular vectors. Setting this term equal to 0, we obtain equation 4. On the left hand side, we see this term m times time derivative of v dot v. It is equal to the time derivative of half mv square. Electric field is the electrostatic field. Its curl is equal to 0. Therefore, this electric field can be written as gradient of some scalar function. And we write E is equal to minus gradient of phi, where phi is the electrostatic potential. It is measured in volts and it is the function of special coordinates. Putting the values from equation 5 and 6 into equation 4, we obtain equation 7. Now we consider dot product of gradient of phi and velocity. For this purpose, we consider delta phi, that is gradient of phi in Cartesian coordinates as shown in equation 8, and we consider the velocity vector also in Cartesian coordinates as shown in equation 9. Taking the dot product of gradient of phi with velocity vector, we obtain, and this dot product is equal to partial derivative of phi with respect to x times time derivative of x plus partial derivative of phi with respect to y times time derivative of y plus partial derivative of phi with respect to z and time derivative of z. We know that when a charged particle with some velocity v moves through a space, the total rate of change of potential experienced by the moving charged particle is given by the total derivative as shown in equation 11. But the potential we are considering, it is the electrostatic potential. It does not explicitly depends on time. Therefore, partial derivative of phi with respect to time is equal to 0. Taking partial time derivative of phi is equal to 0, we obtain equation 12. And in equation 12, the right hand side, it is equal to the dot product of gradient of phi and velocity. Just we have derived it. Therefore, we take time derivative of phi is equal to dot product of gradient of phi and velocity. Now we replace the dot product of phi and velocity vector in equation of motion with time derivative of phi. This q is constant. Therefore, we may take inside the derivative. And equation 15 can also be written as shown in equation 16. Now this half mv square, it is the kinetic energy. We denote it with the letter k, and this q phi, it is the potential energy. We denote it by letter u. Putting these letters instead of kinetic energy and potential energy respectively into equation 7, we obtain equation 20, which reads as the time derivative of the sum of k and u is equal to 0. Integrating equation 20 over time, we obtain the sum of k and u is equal to constant, and sum of k and u is equal to total mechanical energy. Therefore, we conclude that the total mechanical energy of the charged particle moving in a static, electric and magnetic fields remains constant.